Tuesday, Senior Day in Rock Hill. It's the regular season finale for High Point and Winthrop. Panthers in a three-way tie for 8th place. An important game seeding for both teams in the Big South Conference tournament. Eagles need a win and a Radford loss to share the regular season title and a chance to host the Big South Conference tournament. Panthers and Eagles coming away from Winthrop Coliseum. Hello, everybody. I am Mike Pacheco. Bobby Stevens alongside the coach on Senior Day. An exciting moment. A lot of great memories, I know, for you, and great memories for Josh Ferguson and Hunter Hale.
Well, Mike, as a player, you never think that day's going to come. But when it does, it's a little unnerving.
Yeah.
So it's going to take Josh a couple possessions to get settled. But who would have ever thought 4 years has passed with Josh Ferguson when we started with him? He was just taking over for Xavier Cooks. Hunter Hale, who's been accepted by this community, by his teammates, transfer, and he's done wonders here, and we hope that the two of them go away with victory today.
Well, Pat Kelsey, before shoot-around today, was talking with the players and really embraced the seniors. And Hunter Hale, only here 1 year, grad transfer from Grand Valley State, but he really has acclimated well, and he's a big part of this team. And when you look at the matchup here between High Point and Panthers, you know, obviously Winthrop a little bit higher in the win category here, but this is a High Point team you can't sleep on.
No, I'm going to tell you what, Mike, even though last year they had two starters transferred out, Purdue and an NAIA school, this young freshman group, and Tubby does it the old-fashioned way. He's bringing in freshmen. He's going to develop them and build a team. But don't count this team out because they are maturing, and we'll talk about the player to watch who has really emerged his freshman year.
Well, and numbers-wise, too, you know, Winthrop wants to get a lot of possessions in and score a lot. High Point isn't going to want to run with the Eagles. But let's go ahead and take a look at the keys to the game.
Well, the biggest thing, Mike, is High Point's got to bring the fight to them, but they have to be smart about it. They have to take each possession and walk away with something positive. Climb the ladder. This is with the freshman group. They're getting a lot of playing time, and they're moving up gradually into the system. As far as the Eagles, all hands on deck. Complete focus in all phases of the game, Mike. And the Eagles' defensive package, that pack line has got to be on hand, on the arc, all possessions. They got to get back to the winning defensive mind of a Pat Kelsey.
Well, you bring up a good point, Bobby, when it comes to defense. In talking with Josh Ferguson, both after the game on Thursday night and after shoot-around today, this team really went to the coaching staff, the seniors and the upperclassmen management, and this week they said, we need to get back to the basics and get back to playing hard. And the practices were some of the most competitive and toughest practices of the season.
Well, the biggest thing, Mike, is that this is a program that prides itself on holding opponents under 40% from the floor, keeping them off the free throw line. And in the last 6 games on this little bit of a slide, they're averaging close to like 82 points against the Eagles and shooting a phenomenal percentage. And so they're going to get back to the heart of it. They figured out that you can't win tournaments and go on in the NCAA on shooting alone. And the players to watch, John Michael Wright. He's a freshman, Mike. He does a little bit of everything. He's a tough kid. He's mature. He wants the basketball in tough situations. He leads the team in scoring, steals, rebounds, the number of free throws taken, number of threes taken, and his number of shots that are taken. This is the weight of this program on a freshman, and he embraces it.
And he certainly has a great year, and there's Winthrop's player to watch. The only 4-year senior on this team, Josh Ferguson.
And you know what? He's averaging 11.2. He's been a little roller coaster because of the depth of this basketball team. At Upstate, he showed what he's capable of doing. He wants to finish on a high note. He had 22 points, 8 rebounds, 4 of them offensively, 1 for 4 for 3. Mike, he was 10 for 15 from the floor in 34 minutes. The Eagles have to have Ferguson play big today.
He's in the center tip circle with Eric Coleman Jr., and High Point will have the first possession underway in Rock Hill, final game of the regular season. Big South Conference tournament begins on Tuesday. Winthrop will have a bye. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the schedule shakes out in the Big South Conference to see where everybody is going to wind up. It's been that close a year. Jamal R.Wright putting High Point on the board early on. Getting to the basket, and the Eagles respond on the other end.
The Eagles, Mike, Mike, they want to get this game up and down the floor. The Panthers do not want to get in a foot race with the Eagles, but the biggest thing is going to be on this end of the floor in the first half and the other end in the second half. It's going to be about defense and pulling that back into their game plan with the tournament starting on Tuesday.
Look for deflections in this game, too. Winthrop defensively wants to get their hands on a lot of basketballs, and so far it's been the Jamal R.Wright show, a 2 and now a 3.
Mike, last year he averaged 4.2 points per game and 1.9 rebounds.
Rodman, good duck under, bucket and a foul, so it'll be an and one opportunity for the redshirt junior out of Uniontown, Ohio.
Well, we already see the game plan. Attack, attack, attack. They've gotten 2 possessions, 2 rim runners.
Misses on the end one opportunity. Brodler 54% at the line coming into play today. High Point a 1-point lead. Teams have been doing this against Winthrop, Bobby, attacking the basket, and High Point guard-oriented doing the same.
Well, that's the thing that has really bothered the Eagles in the last, because they were very stingy in the years past, Mike, and early in the season they were. And then they've just got to get back, as you mentioned to it, the basics of this pack line defense.
Here's Hunter Hale, and he knocks down his first shot, a triple from the wing.
We've seen it when he gets into a rhythm shot, and that was a rhythm shot right there, Mike. The defense was right there waiting for him to do something. He just elevated, stroked it, twiddling the twine right there.
6 points shy of 1,300 in his career that started at Central Michigan, Grand Valley State, and now finishing up as a grad student here at Winthrop. Ball deflected out by High Point. They get it back inside to Sanchez, who puts a good move on Ferguson.
Mike, Sanchez is that big old body. He's got 30 blocks this year.
I'll just add one more. Just block that Mike Anumba shot.
Timing is everything.
That's right. And a good block by Josh Ferguson, the Winthrop senior, on the right layup attempt. Hale from the corner. Good! Hunter Hale starting off with back-to-back triples.
It looked like they were going to toss the ball to Ferguson on a rhythm shot at the top of the key, and he whipped it over there to Hale. And I tell you, the Panthers have forgotten about him. You best not.
Lob to Handelman. Zunic late to get over.
Well, Mike, they did a nice job of setting that back screen, cleaned out the left side, cleared it out, and tossed over the top. You got to get that backside help right there.
So now High Point on the attack in an even game of 10. Sanchez and Ferguson will be a good matchup to keep an eye on. Now Coleman, the short corner, that had been tipped by Ferguson.
He's being active, Mike. He's got his hands up, moving his feet.
How about that bounce pass by Vaudrin and the dunk from the baseline, Ferguson.
The timing was perfect, Mike. Vaudrin went spin, and when he turned, he released it, and Ferguson caught the cue, ran baseline. And the other night up at USC, we got a block on the Panthers right there, knocked Vaudrin right over there. There it is, the no-look pass. Vaudrin came from the short corner. Mike got a running start.
Foul on Coleman, that'll be his first, second team foul for the Panthers. And we see DJ Burns, who's out, coach's decision on Thursday, and back in the lineup.
He's a young prospect, you know, he's trying to work through things, being held accountable with Coach Kelsey, and he's got a very bright future.
Well, Pat told us, you know, look, principles count first. And so, you know, not just teaching a basketball lesson, but a life lesson too.
Absolutely.
And Russell Jones Jr., how about that?
Well, you know, Mike, the first time these two teams met, Russell Jones didn't play because of that ankle, and it's just taken him to about 2 games ago where he feels comfortable with that twisted ankle, and he's stroking the ball the way he did early in the season.
Yeah, it was a high ankle sprain suffered at Duke. and it's taken some time to get through it. Foul on Winthrop. That'll be Chuck Falden. Winthrop a 4-point lead after the first 4 minutes and 33 seconds here in Rock Hill on Senior Day. Returning home to his alma mater, the 73 grad Tubby Smith, and very engaging guy, Bobby, fun to be around, and you two have a pretty good history.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got to know Tubby when he was at VCU with J.D. Barnett. I was up at Virginia Tech with Charlie Moyer. And every place that Tubby has been, he's been a winner. He's old school. He gets the inside-outside game going. Great X and O. And, you know, he played for the legendary coach Jerry Steele up at High Point.
He had a good season last year, 9-7 in the Big South, 16-15. Here's Coleman, and the offensive foul. The arm was extended out by Coleman Jr. Good call by this officiating crew, which includes Rusty Phillips, Ben Sturt, who was here for that Gardner-Webb triple overtime game, and Kevin Chambliss.
Well, they worked, Mike, yesterday in practice about cutting that baseline off, taking that option away from them, and trying to force them more towards the middle.
That's 2 on Coleman.
Well, the Panthers have a limited bench to begin with because of the youth and the transfers that have left the program.
Cliff Thomas in for the first time. Here's Chuck Falden, corner 3. Off the mark, no good. And we're going to get a foul, a hook, I think, on Wright. John Michael Wright, very talented freshman.
Well, he did a nice job of putting the lower body on Claxton, but when you take your arms and wrap it around like a gift wrap.
Well, that's been an area of emphasis this year, too.
Yes.
That hook around. And a block from Sanchez from behind. Caden Sanchez from Columbus, Ohio.
Big body, quick off his feet. He's added 2 more to his shot blocking total, Mike. That's now 32 blocks this year.
Winthrop by 4. Extending the catch there of DJ Burns. That's going to be something that teams are going to do a lot of over the coming years, but he's so tough to defend, can shoot the ball and can pass out of a double team. Here's a turnover by Russell Jones Jr. And now High Point on the attack with Jamal Wright.
Well, Mike, Coach Kelsey wants that ball moving a little more. He doesn't want people standing around. Make your move with a purpose.
Here's an open look 3 for John Michael Wright. His first field goal of the game is a 3.
A very complete player, Mike, for a freshman. Very mature. Does a little bit of everything for the Panthers.
Vaudrin dives to the basket, gets it in. He's been very effective using that shot fake to kind of create space.
And he's left-handed, and he's got that right-hand move that really throws people off, and that's his second acrobatic finish already.
Sanchez up over Burns.
Tell you what, Sanchez, Mike, is a big body as well, and he gives you that little back-down move.
Here's Falden. Knocks down his first triple of the game. Virginia native from Richmond.
That's what you like to see out of your shooters. Miss one in the corner, come to the other corner and knock one down. Don't flinch.
You have to have, as a three-point shooter, that closer in baseball mentality of forgetting that last shot if you miss it. Here's Wright up top, buries the 3 with Falden guarding. So he has 8 points to lead the Panthers. Falden again. This time hits that wire support, guiding the backboard. So it'll be out of bounds. This Eagles head coach Pat Kelsey. 8th season here at Winthrop, 159 and 93, 92 and 45 in the Big South Conference. Done a great job here with the Eagles.
Well, Mike, he's on his 4th 20-game win in the history of the program, the 17th in the program history, where they've accomplished 20 wins in today's modern basketball. That's a great accomplishment.
Here's the pull-up for Wright, and High Point propelled into the lead by 1.
You can see why Tubby Smith is really high on Wright, Mike. He's got that little mid-range jumper. He's got the 3. He takes it to the rack. Tough to defend.
Here's Jamal King. Missed from the corner. Eagles had that look, just couldn't knock it down. And now the Panthers by 1 on the attack. John Michael Hughes, the redshirt freshman, now in right to the bucket. Bucket and a foul for John Michael Wright.
Well, there, Mike, he's unwrapping his entire arsenal right now. He has knocked down the mid-range jumper, one at the top of the key. He's taking it to the basket. So he confuses defenders, and so the defense has got to decide, what are we going to give you? Are we going to take the penetration away, or are we going to let you shoot from the perimeter? And if you don't let him shoot from the perimeter, he's shooting 33% from the arc.
Makes the and one, so now 8 points for the freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina. And the lead now 4 for High Point.
Well, Mike, the Panthers went to this 2-3 zone. It seems to have kind of slowed the Eagles down a little bit.
Hale with a missed three, and now the rebound for Izonabor.
Eagles did a nice job of skipping the ball, screening on the outside, and getting Hale that open look. He doesn't miss too many of the open looks.
One thing the Eagles did very effectively Thursday night was attack upstate and go inside. Hampton also a team that put the zone on Winthrop in that last home game here. High Point will turn it over, throw it out of bounds. Winthrop will have possession when we come back.
Into a turnover for the Eagles, but the Panthers are doing a nice job mixing their zone up, packing this 2-3 zone in. That's the difference in the game so far. Eagles have had some open looks. The Panthers make 6.1 threes per game. They're already 2 for 2, but it's the mixture of short game, mid-range jumpers, taking it to the rack and being selective on the arc.
Zunick behind the back pass, Ferguson. Good job by Hunter Hill getting that to the nail. Now Vaudrin with a three, and it's rebounded by Zunick. Winthrop will retain possession. Anumba corner three makes it.
Very unselfish play by the Eagles right there. Nice rebound by Zunick, keeping the ball alive. Rebounding is another phase of the game, Mike, that will be important down the stretch.
Tubby Smith said rebounding was going to be critical for his team. Here's the steal by Ferguson. Up ahead, Vaudrin. He's going to have to save it on the baseline. And now Zunick will try to get in on the act, and does with his first triple of the game. That's the 5th three-pointer for the Eagles.
Well, there's that pressure on the ball, Mike. He's shadowing the ball like an eclipse. It doesn't allow the passer to actually see what's going on inside, so you can make a mistake defensively.
Now a reach in on Zunick. Maybe a little over-aggressive trying to get in there.
All right, partner.
But you like the aggressiveness.
Let me hear it.
It was the arm coming down and not from the side.
There you go. I tell you what, Mr. Pacheco, you have been right on all those calls when you come down like that.
Vaudrin goes to the Winthrop bench. Russell Jones Jr. back in for Winthrop. We're going to get a change for High Point as well. They're going to bring Sanchez back in and Randleman. So Jamal Wright will exit with Cliff Thomas.
And they're not actually going smaller. You still got two pretty good size 2-6-8 players, but the pressure on the ball, Mike, is the difference. Tubby wants that high-low action.
Now an offensive foul called against Izunabor. 6'9" freshman from Fayetteville picks up his first foul. That'll be 5 team fouls for the Panthers. Winthrop at 3 team fouls.
They got him on the swim move, Mike. When you come up over the shoulder of the defender and come down, they're not going to allow that.
Hunter Hill missed 3. Izunabor the rebound. That's the 8th rebound for the Panthers. They have a 2-rebound advantage over Winthrop right now. Eagles the top rebounding team in the Big South Conference. Approaching 10 minutes to go here in the first half. Winthrop ahead by 2. High Point though with the basketball. Trying to tie this game up. The backdoor cut. Nice pass. Sanchez finding John Michael Wright.
Tell you what, John Michael Wright, you talk about an athlete. That pass was going out of bounds, and he's like a wide receiver. Collected it and finished.
Zunick shot rims in and out from the corner. John Michael Wright going to the races. And has it stripped away by Russell Jones Jr. And his Izunabor is going to be fouled, trying to put that shot up. So that'll be the first on Josh Ferguson. 2-shot foul here with 9:38 to play. 4th team foul against Winthrop. And it puts Izunabor at the line. He's 77%. Sounds great. It is good. This is only the 14th free throw he's attempted, though. So it doesn't get to the line a bunch, but when it does, he makes it count. And the first one is in. Averages 1.4 points per game, 2.4 rebounds a game, about 7.5 minutes. But with injuries, you would imagine his playing time will go up, especially how deep Winthrop is in the post.
The Panthers have 6 freshmen, 2 redshirt freshmen, just 2 seniors, 2 juniors, 2 sophomores, and 1 redshirt sophomore.
And we get an offensive foul against Russell Jones Jr. And that'll be the first on the freshman from Blythewood, South Carolina.
Well, Mike, he
put his shoulders forward.
He extended the elbow. He can hold it in that 90 degree, but as soon as you start to extend it, they're going to call it on you.
Both teams now 5 team fouls each. Randleman now working with Jones. High Point basketball. 1 point lead for the visiting Panthers. Senior day for Winthrop here in Rock Hill. Winthrop needs a win for a chance to tie Radford. They'll need a Highlander loss to share the regular season title. And Jamal Wright with 10 points now. Here's Jones for 3, knocks it down from the top.
And they haven't seen or played against Russell Jones, Mike. And we mentioned to you earlier about the knee.
It's John Michael Hughes, redshirt freshman from Pennsylvania. Eagles have been working on a 4-out, 1-in set. Jones with a miss, ball tipped around, and it's Izunabor coming up with it for the Panthers. So they continue to have that rebounding lead over the Eagles by 2. But injuries are starting to pile up for the Panthers. Curtis Holland has been out with turf toe-like symptoms. Here's a fight for the rebound, and it's Falden for Winthrop. But you also have Rob Peterson, son of Buzz Peterson, traveling call against DJ Burns, High Point basketball. And then you also have Denny Slay out with a lower body injury, Peterson out with a hip. So you really have 3 key contributors not playing.
And it's a young staff right now, but Tubby does it the old-fashioned way. He's old school. He's going to go with that high-low. He's going with building the program, start with freshmen, and he's been successful on his entire journey at every possible conference and at every level.
That's Falden picking up Randleman, left side of your screen.
The Eagles on the ball, Mike, are doing a great job. They're not able to see that high-low pass, and they spent a lot of time on that yesterday.
Blocking foul inside on Winthrop. Beyond DJ Burns, that's the first foul for the redshirt freshman from Rock Hill. Even at 28 at the under 8 timeout. Mark Simpson in the conference office puts together the tiebreakers, because there are going to be a lot of them, but it'll be fun, so just make sure you check it out, BigSouthSports.com.
As a league, Mike, that's what you want to come down to the last day of the season and have all those decisions made after today's games. I mean, it speaks highly of this conference, the quality of coaches, the talent that has come to the Big South.
Well, on any given night, you're in for a dogfight, and Winthrop has seen that a couple of times with how tight games have been with Longwood and with Presbyterian. Ball got deflected by off Cliff Thomas. They tried the alley-oop play. All even at 28. Senior day in Rock Hill. Winthrop already 8 assists.
On 11 shots,
on 11
Mike.
made baskets.
Yep.
And now Falden tries to get it out. I thought he was going to go to the rim. Shot clock winding down. He's going to have to try one up top, and it's going to be no good. And Numba lost the handle on it. Now we're going to get a foul on Anumba, tripping up Cliff Thomas.
What a hustle play. He dove after that thing to get a hold of it. Yeah, he did snack his leg right there, smacked down, and great hustle play.
7th team foul. That's going to put Cliff Thomas on the line for a 1-and-1. 63% free throw shooter, 31 of 49 this year. Over his career, 61%, and makes the first to earn a second. Breaks the 28-all tie, gives High Point a 1-point lead. And the second one good.
And Mike, what you wouldn't expect against a Winthrop team is that they're getting beat in the paint 16-8 right now.
Ball hits the scoreboard, the shot clock timer above the backboard.
It can hit the top of the backboard, but not
right.
the
It can rest
scoreboard
on top, but it cannot hit any of the accoutrements. And at Winthrop, you have the support that comes down. It's not like the floor baskets that you see. Now, Thomas has his first field goal to go along with 2 free throws and a 4-point lead for the Panthers.
The backside help right there. Mike wasn't over there, and Josh Ferguson was on the high side when the offensive man was on the block, and they just kicked it in there to him.
Winthrop's only attempted 8 shots from inside. Everything's going over here. Off the fingertips.
I tell you what, eating those greasy potato chips will do that
tracking
too.
it.
Yeah. That oil and butter from the popcorn. Had the right idea, Mike.
My man John Gobble behind us, he had it though.
That's your backup.
My backup. And now High Point will throw it away. It's possession over position, right? I mean, I should have.
Yep. Possession over position. What that means is you had to
should have
move.
elevated, yeah.
That's exactly right.
I didn't come to the ball.
No, you did not.
I let the ball come to me.
I'll tell you what.
It's a good learning lesson for me.
Good learning lesson. That's how we learn.
How about that for DJ Burns? Dunk inside.
Vaudrin jumping out of bounds with a little whip hook pass. But the Panthers, they're pushing the ball inside. They're trying to get you pushed up high, and then they're going to lob over it. And the Eagles worked on that yesterday.
Blocking foul on Anumba. Calling it tight here in the early goings. That's 2 on Anumba. And now 8 team totals for Winthrop. Nice dunk there by Burns.
So the whip pass and DJ being ready, having his hands ready. That's important, Mike. A lot of times guys fumble the ball because they don't have their hands ready expecting the pass.
Or maybe they have a pen in their hand.
Yeah, they have a pen in their hand. That's right. Didn't drop it. Yeah. Absolutely.
There's a miss by John Michael Wright. Still a 2-point lead. Ferguson puts Winthrop in the lead. Josh Ferguson, his first 3.
That was just a rhythm shot. Sanchez came down the middle of the floor, and that's what makes Ferguson a tough defend, because he can pull up in the arc and shoot the 3.
7 first half threes. Wright is sealed off, has to pass up to Randleman. Good ball movement here for the Panthers. Trying to probe this Winthrop offense, and Jamal Wright off balance gets it in. He's got 12.
Okay, Jamal Wright and John Michael Wright, they have just burned the floor up, getting downhill against the Eagles.
That's one area the Eagles have really tried to work on defensively. Now they go into Burns. And that turnaround is good for the Rock Hill native. He's got 4 points.
The big fella's got that spin going to his right shoulder with the sweet baby hook. He needs to put a patent on it, Mike.
Got tangled up with Floyd. So now that's going to be 2 on Burns. So the fouls are stacking up here.
Mike, the Panther post players are meeting the defenders about midway up, and they're trying to put a body on them so they can get that lob. And they're doing a nice job with that. The Eagles just have to continue to dance. And as a defender, you don't want to lean on the offensive man. As an offensive player, you want to make body contact. And so far, DJ's been leaning on him like he does at the offensive end, so he's got to make that adjustment.
Good eye, coach. In the corner, Hale. Off the mark, no good. Another rebound for Sanchez. That's the 12th rebound. And now on the other end, it's a miss. And Thomas can't get the stick back in. Zunic rebounds Winthrop.
I want to tell you what, you talk about hustle plays, Vaudrin, man. Woo!
Here's Vaudrin attacking. Claxton couldn't hold on.
Claxton's eyes, Mike, if you watch the replay on it, were looking towards the rim. And he didn't catch the ball first. And that's, possession over position. And he was getting ready to move, but what a great hustle play by Vaudrin right there. Rim to rim, that's his second block. Or he's got one in Ferguson, I believe he's got one down there.
Tight game early here in Rock Hill. That one rims in and out for Jamal R.Wright. Hasn't missed many today. Under 4 to play, senior day in Rock Hill. Winthrop looking for their 15th win. Here's a miss by Russell Jones Jr. and another rebound, Sanchez. That's his 4th. And John Michael Wright makes contact with Russell Jones Jr. and it'll be a foul on the Winthrop from behind the arc.
Oh, Mike, the Panthers only shoot 40% from the field goal, and they're shooting 64 right now, and they're giving up 46, and that's exactly what the Eagles are sitting on right now. But the game is gone, just as Coach W. Smith had mentioned to us pregame, is the fact that clock management didn't want to get into a fast-paced game, and his 2 guards and his inside post play hold the advantage of 20-10 on the Eagles in the paint. But the Eagles have a 10-5 on points off turnovers.
So 2 free throws for Wright, made the first. Or make that 3 free throws. Makes the first 2.
Mike, we got 3:40 left in the first half, and the Eagles have only gone to the free throw line 1 time. And so they're going to have to get into, the Panthers, the last 3:40 are going to be in the bonus.
Well, and they've attacked Winthrop in the paint. Something Winthrop hasn't done a lot of, and now we're going to get a foul with Claxton on the low block going up. Foul's going to go on Caden Sanchez. That'll be first on the redshirt sophomore from Columbus, Ohio. And it's going to put Chase Claxton at the line. He was 4 or 5 at the line Thursday night. Had 12 points in the win over Upstate. 55% makes his first. Winthrop as a team shooting 64%. And Claxton makes both his free throws, and it's a 1-point game.
Well, they're gonna go full court. It's going to be just a soft press, nothing but just to take a little bit of time off the clock and try to speed the Panthers up a little bit by taking time off that shot clock. Yeah, the Panther post players, Mike, are really working hard trying to get the ball.
Zunic steals the ball away after John Michael Wright had secured the rebound. Vaudrin tried an interior pass, no-look pass, and got deflected out of bounds for High Point.
Put a lot of heat on that one, being close range, about 2 feet away. Larry Fitzgerald couldn't have caught that one. We've got a little bit of blood.
Randleman's going to the end of the High Point bench.
And Coach Kelsey's going to try to take advantage of this quick medical timeout to talk to his team.
Both teams going to their benches. Looks like the nose. Let's see. Bryant Randleman, the freshman from Durham, North Carolina. Winthrop bench, Pat Kelsey drawing up a play here with 2:48 to play.
And he's probably talking about an offensive play, Mike, and then on a score jumping into some type of full court soft press.
Randleman will have to go to the bench, so returning is John Michael Hughes. So you have 2 John Michaels, you have 2 Hugheses.
And you're keeping it all straight right now.
Trying to keep it all straight. Hale off the inbound, short, airballs it. Sanchez, his 5th rebound.
You won't see that happen too often with a shooter from 6 feet away.
So now High Point with a 3 in the corner, and it's good for John Michael Wright. He's got 16 first-half points.
Mike, he is only averaging 14 for a 40-minute game.
Bullet pass inside. Vaudrin threaded the needle for Claxton.
That was a 95 mile per hour fastball.
That had some heat on it, didn't it?
Yes, it did. But from the top of the key.
Well, you had to thread it.
Absolutely.
Now we get an offensive foul here against High Point. So that'll go on Izunabor. So that'll be 2 on Izunabor, 2 on Eric Coleman Jr. 7 fouls, player control, so no 1-and-1. But a nice bullet pass inside there for Claxton. There's Chuck Falden. Back in for Winthrop.
This zone has slowed the Eagles down a little bit, but that short corner.
Same pass to Ferguson, but he's fouled, Bobby.
Well, what the Eagles are doing, Mike, is they're screening on the interior, and that opens up the short corner where Ferguson is playing, and Claxton screening at the middleman. Because the bottom of the zone has to honor the wing player out here. Nice little play. That's a little bit like a UNC when Dean Smith was around. Screen that middleman, and then you got passers like Vaudrin, who's big and tall, and he can see that, and you've got great receivers. Claxton, Ferguson, DJ Burns all have great hands.
Ferguson 60% at the line this year, but a good free throw shooter over his career, 70%, gets both. And we are tied at 41.
Well, Mike, when Ferguson is the leading rebounder, the Eagles are 8-1, and right now he does not have a rebound. So we got to get into the locker room and start talking to him about that.
He was got a deflection, but it went right to the High Point player, and now it's Jamal Wright. John Michael Wright pulls up, no good. Ball tipped around, and it's Vaudrin, and a foul against Winthrop on the rebounding action. I think it's going to go on Claxton. Well, I guess that's on Vaudrin.
I think there was quite a bit of confusion. It looked like Vaudrin, he wasn't sure. He looked up, down, and over. I thought he was going to call. I think he was trying to figure out. High Point he thought was going the other end. He was already in the second half. But Vaudrin had kind of got that right arm up there, but great hustle for the ball.
Sanchez 38% at the line.
Well, Mike, the Eagles mentioned just a little while ago that they were 0 for 1. Now they're 4 for 5. And the Panthers are 8 for 11. So you got to get back on that charity stripe, get them in a little bit of foul trouble, get some points while the clock is stopped.
Jamal King comes in for Winthrop. And the Sanchez free throw good, 1 out of 2. Vaudrin done a good job, great passer. Red shirt, so sat out last year. Now King in the corner from Zunic, good.
Like the Eagles are doing a nice job of running like a man offense against the zone. They're screening against it. They're diving to the middle. They're handling the ball. There's player movement, ball movement for the Eagles.
2-point lead for Winthrop after the King 3. And an offensive foul called against High Point.
Vaudrin did a great job, Mike, of keeping his hands back away instead, like you mentioned, leaning down, and he just let the hit take him in the chest. Did a great job of putting the body on him right there. And
got the elbow right up in the chin.
Yep.
So that's 2 on Sanchez. Now 9 fouls for High Point.
And Coach Tubby Smith would like an explanation. You know what?
Let's talk with Rusty Phillips.
You know, I got my players posting up, got his hands up. They worked at Georgia, it worked at Kentucky. I can't figure out why it's not working here at High Point. Tubby's a master at working the officials.
Here's Falden, rims out. Ferguson tips it to King. His putback is no good. It's going to be saved by Ferguson.
What a great hustle play right there. High jumping over 2 Panthers who stumbled, and now the Eagles.
Winthrop's going to use a timeout. Try and figure things out here, get a good play together with 13 seconds to go and a 2-point lead. Bobby, coming up at the Geico halftime report, we'll take a look at just how muddled the standings are. It's after the top 3, of course.
Right.
But we'll also have a look at the first half stats, and we'll take a look at highlights from Senior Day so far here in Rock Hill.
Well, I tell you what, Mike, it's a great day for Senior Day. You want the seniors to play well. You want to get a victory for them. The standings, it's important with the middle of it, Mike, because in the first round, the higher seed gets the home game. So you're trying to maneuver to get one of those.
Well, Winthrop has to get help to host the tournament. They need Bradford to lose, and they need Hampton to lose. So a Bradford win guarantees the Big South Conference tournament is in the New River Valley this year.
And the Eagles have played well on the road this year, Mike. They actually have a better record on the road.
Shot clock at 3. Shot is off. I don't think it hit the iron. That's going to be a turnover, Winthrop. So they're going to have to fix the shot clock for one. Officials conferring. Did you think it hit the side of the iron, Bob?
The one official in front of the bench thought it hit.
We're going to get a look at the replay here.
It
might have grazed it.
Yeah, the net kind of shook a little bit. That's what I thought.
We're going to go to the monitor and take a look at it. And they'll probably have to put a second or 2 back up on the shot clock. That's one of the. So really, we're going to be looking at 2 issues here. One is, did the ball actually touch the rim? And then the second issue would be, what time will be left on the clock?
I don't know if it was hitting.
Well, it's interesting. If it was an air ball, though, I think the trajectory of the ball would have been more toward the baseline, and it looked like it came back kind of straight down.
Oh, a little physics.
We might need to look at the physics of this.
You're throwing some physics on
well,
me.
you throw physics at me all the time. I'm throwing it back at you.
Professor Pacheco, all right.
Well, you are the earth sciences guy.
But, you know, it looked like it may have hit the backboard and came down that way. So I don't know if it actually hit the rim and the camera angle. It's going to be, I don't think it's going to be conclusive that it actually hit the rim, because I really can't see it moving. But I know this is hard for you to believe. I have been wrong before on these calls.
No, you have not. No, you have not. Ben's coming over to give you the official. So it's going to be an alternating possession arrow because there was no ball possessed. It did hit the iron. So the physics came into play there.
Well, you were right on it, Mr. Pacheco. My hat's off to you. But that's good officiating, Mike.
Great officiating.
To be able to get that call, and again, because it was a no possession, they went with the alternating clock. And now the Eagles will have the last shot.
They have a 2-point lead in the ball. Rodman getting frustrated here by Floyd. Now takes it to the rim, and the reverse is good with a second to go. There's the horn. And Chandler Vodra puts Winthrop up 4 at the half.
Well, lose the ball, fumble the ball, lose the ball, fumble the ball, kiss it off the glass with the right hand reverse. What a way to end for a 4-point lead.
I think that's how they drew it up.
Yeah.
Geico halftime report coming your way next here in Rock Hill. Winthrop, the home team, up by 4. South Conference tournament. Now Winthrop, Radford, and Gardner-Webb, and not necessarily in that order, have secured a first-round bye, so they will not be playing on Tuesday night. The other 2 spots will be determined today. And, I mean, it is really jumbled when you look at that 4 spot through the bottom, with Campbell at the bottom half of the Big South Conference. But, Winthrop and Radford have been the 2 best teams in the regular season. Gardner-Webb has played big games. Hampton is interesting, and I know they had some injuries, and we talked to their coach Buck Joyner a couple of weeks ago. But I mean, they've had some big wins. They're going to be at Radford today. Gardner-Webb's at Radford today. Hampton is home against Upstate, so Winthrop needs Upstate to knock off Hampton at home, and they need Gardner-Webb to beat Radford for Winthrop to have even be in the discussion for hosting the Big South Conference tournament.
I'll tell you what, though, Mike, I would not want to be playing Hampton this time of the year. When they came here, Morrow and Stanley just put on a display, and the Pirates were hurt early. Morrow had that thumb early in there, and they're finally getting healthy, and we know what type of team they can be. Mike, they were preseason pick at number 4. They're sitting in the 6th position right now, but we know that they're like, a 1, 2, or 3 type team with the athletes that they have. Morrow's number 3 in the country in scoring at a 24.3, and Stanley is right behind him at 21.
Well, you want to talk about balance. Winthrop has played 10 players, and every one of them has at least 3 points. High Point led by the combination of John Michael Wright, 16, Jamal Wright with 11. More to come here in Rock Hill at the break. Winthrop up by 4.
Four for 5 from the free throw line, and we already mentioned as the player to watch that he leads the team in steals, rebounds, takes the most free throws, takes the most threes, number of shots, and this young man is just a freshman, and we've seen him shoot the 3 ball. We have seen him shoot the mid-range. He gets to the free throw line. He gets to the rim. He's really a very elegant type of player in terms of he's just smooth. Yeah. He doesn't get rattled. And then the other Wright, Jamal Wright, is 5 for 8, got 11 points, 2 assists, no turnovers. And
of High Point, what's the adjustment Tubby Smith and the Panthers are making right now?
I wouldn't make any adjustments whatsoever with my team, Mike. He's managing the clock. They went to that 2-3 zone, a 1-2-2, and they slowed the tempo down. That's where they want it. They're down 4. They've done a nice job on the boards at 16 all. They've gotten to the free throw line. Clock management was one of the things that Tubby Smith had said. Of course, his concern, or any coach's concern, is when you have such a young ball club, the last 10 minutes of the game, how will that affect them?
And not fouling. His teams have gotten into foul trouble late, and he felt like that has been a big key late in games as well. So Randleman back in. Looked like he had a bloody nose in the first half. Now Ferguson steals the behind-the-back pass. Hale off the glass, and it's going to be no good. Ferguson will have it tipped out of bounds, and it is going to stay Winthrop basketball.
Well, Mike, you spoke very highly of Jamal Michael Wright and John Michael Wright, and we want to get this cleared up that they are no relations to
Jamal
the Wright brothers.
and John Michael Wright, yes.
No relation. No relations to the Wright brothers. But they are flying high today.
They are flying high today. Well, two rights don't make a wrong in this game.
There you go.
All right, I think we're done on the puns.
Well, let's see what the Eagles have done, Mike. You know, one of the things is they had to do a better job.
Man, how about Ferg right there?
Rebounding. And the one thing about Fergie is that he's very good on the block. But with DJ Burns here, he's had to play a little bit out on the perimeter, but DJ's got a little bit of foul trouble, and so he's going to play inside.
Coleman had it intercepted trying to save. Now Winthrop on the attack. Hale, the up top three. Good for Hunter Hale.
The unselfish play of Hale to kick it to Vaudrin, and Vaudrin with the basketball IQ of knowing, you know what? He's sliding and fading to the open.
Winthrop a 5-0 run to start the second half. 72 seconds in. And Enumba will be called for a reach-in, I think. Yep, it will be on Enumba. So that's 3 on Winthrop's best on-ball defender. So Chase Claxton will come in, good defender in his own right.
Michael Enumba thought that he had both hands on the ball at that time, and he's a good defender for the Eagles, Mike, so we'll see how that plays out towards the end of the game.
Coleman, off-balance shot, no good. Ferguson there, fights for the rebound. Winthrop basketball.
And this is what the Eagles have to do, Mike, is they get that running game going.
Ferguson up top. No good, ball tipped around. Claxton coming up with it. Tries to save it, does to Hale underneath for the bucket. What a save on a broken play for points.
Claxton looked like he was doing a little yoga right there, Mike, stretching out and then coming forward with the pass.
Tubby Smith needs one. Chase Claxton.
He's a freshman. You know, you talk about young teams. This Winthrop team doesn't play like the youth that they are. I mean, sometimes they have 3-4 freshmen out there. And Hale had 6 points at halftime, Mike. He's sitting on 11. Not even a minute and 2 minutes into the second half, he's sitting on 11 already.
So Claxton guarding the very speedy John Michael Wright. Remember, Mike Enumba, Winthrop's best on-ball defender, 3 fouls. Michael Wright no good. A late closeout by Claxton. And now Winthrop on the attack with the rebound. Vaudrin maybe should have held on to that one and taken it himself.
I tell you what.
Maybe too unselfish that time. Here's a steal. Hale on the breakaway. Gets fouled and buries the bucket. It's an and one for the grad transfer from Kalamazoo.
He did a nice job with that, Mike, taking it down the middle, cutting the defender off. Watch how he moves to the left just to cut the defender off. Shields the ball in that right hand, and the defender was expecting Hale to put it in his left hand, and he did the smart thing, keeping it away from the defender and using the net and the rim, blocking it off.
Hale misses the and one. He has 13 points.
7 already in the first 3 minutes, 2.5 minutes of the first half, Mike. And the thing about Claxton is he's long and he's rangy. And on that play, on John Michael Wright, he came up on the right side.
An offensive foul. Zunic getting helped up by Vaudrin and Ferguson. So the third foul on Eric Coleman. He had 2 in the first half. Hasn't really played much in the game. Has had to sit with a lot of foul trouble. He's still in there with 17-16 to play.
Now Coach Smith is over there wondering if this is the spell that he was a little concerned with before the ball game, being a young ball club.
Vaudrin tried to dip it down to Hale. The ball's going to be last touched by Hunter Hale. Crowd thinks it should be Winthrop basketball. High Point's going to get possession.
Well, Mike, you get to a point where you're twisting and turning and twisting and turning and twisting and turning, and you've closed that passing angle. Just kick it out and start your offense over again.
So Bryant Randleman will go to the bench. Vaudrin gets a breather for Winthrop. Russell Jones Jr. returns. Coleman is also on the bench for High Point, with John Michael Hughes into the game along with Clint Floyd. Winthrop by 13, senior day in Rock Hill. Final game of the regular season. This is the first game tipping off in the Big South. So we will have to wait to see what the seedings are going to be, and that'll come out somewhere around 8 o'clock tonight. It'll be a busy day for the media relations director for the Big South Conference, Mark Simpson. Nice move inside by Floyd. By Cliff Thomas.
I tell you what, he just used his upper body strength to get that one, and that one is deep for Hale right there.
Stops that Winthrop run, and that's how you get back in it if you're High Point. A big three for Jamal R.Wright. And now Winthrop will lose it out of bounds, so maybe getting a little disjointed here with the big lead, and it is now an 8-point game.
That's good officiating right there. Coach Kelsey was up, and the official just turned to him to look kind of like, let us get it straight. And the officials did. It was tipped off there.
So it will be Winthrop basketball, not High Point basketball. Eagles bring in Falden and DJ Burns. Falden, his first shot no good. Now Zunick will try up top. Maybe too much spin. And Russell Jones Jr. diving on it, Falden. Burns falling on it, gets it for Claxton. Good save for the Eagles. And Burns slow to get up. Another reset by the Eagles off the miss. Here's Zunick. No good. And the rebound, Thomas inside.
Good
High
possession.
Point basketball.
Good possession. You like to see the big guy get on the deck, save the possession, give them another opportunity.
A lot of basketball is about effort and heart. Ball just tickles on the rim, and Jamal Wright has 5 points here in the second half.
Like Jamal Wright realized that they had a mismatch. He had DJ Burns on him, and he moved everybody out, cleared it out, gave him a little quick fake.
Second travel call against DJ Burns, and will lead us to the under-16 media timeout. High Point, after suffering a 7-0 run, has gone on a 7-0 run of their own. Eagles right now by 6.
Wright brothers. You have Michael Numa back in because of the run. As you mentioned, a good lockdown defender.
He's on right now. You have Russell Jones Jr. on John Michael Wright. Here's Hughes, and he knocks down the three.
Well, Mike, coming into this game, John Michael Hughes was 0 for 8 from three-point range.
Eagles working the ball around the perimeter. It's going to be a miss by Vodrin, but Falden for Winthrop saves.
Got a new 20-second count. Coach Kelsey setting it up.
And it's good for Chuck Falden, his second three of the game. Thought he was fouled. Winthrop now has made 10 threes in the game. Lead by 6. Pull-up jumper no good. Falden the rebound, Winthrop. Charles Falden, Bobby, with 7 rebounds. Ball's going to be last touch. Check that, 8 rebounds. And the ball last touched by Winthrop. Here's Falden, another up top three, and it's good for Charles Falden.
Nice out of bounds play, Mike. Poorly defended right there. They threw straight up the alley. And Russell Jones.
Steal. Russell Jones Jr. and the layup. Oh, no good. Ferguson fights for it. Jamal Wright for High Point gets it. Good defense by the Panthers there. Off the miss, Sanchez. Inside Thomas. That can't fall. And now another rebound for Chuck Falden. That is his 9th to go along with his 9 points. Now Enumba, the corner three, no good. Long reach for Ferguson. Falden tried to pass it out, gets intercepted by John Michael Wright, and he's fouled by Vaudrin. Vaudrin trying to argue that he got hooked.
How fast is John Michael Wright right there? I mean, he just blew by people, put it in another gear.
That's 2 on Chandler Vaudrin, the redshirt junior from Uniontown, Ohio. Trying to cut into this 9-point Winthrop lead on back-to-back threes for Charles Falden.
You got Russell Jones, Mike, is limping towards the bench over there, and I don't know if it kind of tweaked as he started to go up, and I think on the way back it may have got tweaked.
Miss on the second for John Michael Wright. 8-point game. Stepping on the sideline is Mike Enumba. He'll turn it over. That's just the 10th Winthrop turnover today. They have forced 15. And Winthrop has 16 assists, 12 for Chandler Vaudrin. Winthrop's single game record is 17, so we'll keep an eye on that. Rick Reese did that in 1981.
Well, they've gotten into a little bit of a rhythm and got the up-tempo game going, but they've done a good job, Mike, on the defense down here.
Well, if Winthrop is going to advance in the tournament and perhaps to the NCAA tournament, it's going to have to be on the defensive end. It's going to have to start there.
Boydrin did a nice job of using his body to control it to get that rebound.
Hale in the corner, now up top King. And a long rebound for Bryant Randleman, the freshman from Durham, North Carolina. Point guard for Tubby Smith.
Josh Ferguson's back there. 3 seconds.
Here's Wright up top. Buries it and gets the 3 call. And Pat's trying to say, hey, we didn't get that when Falden was fouled, or in Winthrop's opinion, fouled. But a big 3 and a chance for a 4-point play. Even 12 to go here in Rock Hill.
The weightlifting.
So it's an and one opportunity for Jamal Wright. He's putting up monster numbers here, and he gets the bucket for the free throw, and now has 20 points. That's a big 4-point swing. And Winthrop's lead is down to 4.
Well, they've gone to this little 2-3 zone again.
Ball tipped out of bounds.
Coach Kelsey calling that play in there. He's looking at the personnel that's on the floor.
Winthrop's largest lead, 13, now cut down to 4, and it's ripped away here by John Michael Wright, and it's Hunter Hale committing the foul to prevent a wide open breakaway.
Hunter just lost the ball.
I think he was looking up, Bobby, and maybe took his eye off the ball for a second.
It just fell out of his hands.
So a big turnover. Now 11 turnovers for Winthrop.
I'm amazed at the 2 Wrights, Mike. Just the way that they can just elevate, stop, and go straight up, whether it be a 3, mid-range, or carried in for the floater.
Right now it's Chase Claxton guarding Jamal Wright, 4 on the shot clock. Here's Bryant Randleman, the reverse no good. And it's going to be an over the back on Thomas. That was an easy one.
Put a saddle on. Well, Vaudrin's doing a nice job right now. He's got 12 assists, Mike, 5 rebounds, and 6 points with just 2 turnovers.
Well, he had good position. And for Thomas to get the rebound, he had nowhere to go but over him.
And exactly what you said. He had good positioning. That's what rebounding and offensive rebounding is all about, whether you're blocking it out or going for the rim.
Hale for 3, rims out. DJ Burns tips it, and Vaudrin for Winthrop to reset the Eagle offense. The turnaround for Burns, no good. Ball tipped around, Burns gets it back. Here's Jamal King, and good for 3. Winthrop needed that one.
That's good patience right there by the young buck. DJ Burns he took that little jumper.
Missed 3, Burns the rebound, Winthrop. It's gonna be a blocking foul on Wright. Vaudrin turned, and Wright just intercepted. It was inertia, really, but still a foul.
You're just talking science on me here, big fella. I like that. But the biggest thing is when you're taking the ball like that, you want to catch it, look over your shoulder. It very easily could have been a charge if he was stationary, if the defender was stationary, because Vaudrin was catching it and running with it. And so it worked out in his favor. But again, you have to look at what Vaudrin's doing, Mike, in terms of assists. He's got 13 assists and only 2 turnovers and 1 block shot.
So John Michael Wright will come in for Jamal Wright. That's John Michael Hughes. Here's Vaudrin 3. Long rebound, and it's going to be last touched by Hunter Hale. Thomas beating him perhaps to the spot, and Hale just reaching out trying to grab the ball, couldn't hold on. So under 10 minutes to play. Winthrop leading by 7.
It's this time of the game where your defense is either going to increase it or you're going to let the Panthers get back in it. And the Panthers at some point in time might have to come out and do some full court pressing to kind of get in it. But when you got the 2 Wrights that are doing that, getting to the rim anytime they want to.
And John Michael right there just splitting the Eagle defense, taking it right to the rim.
He's got that other gear when it comes to getting to the rim.
Zunic for Claxton. Layup is good. Another assist for Kyle Zunic. That's his 3rd.
Mike, we've seen that Zunic-Claxton duo before. Claxton hides in that short corner, and Zunic drives the middle, drives that middle man and the baseline guy.
Up top 3 hit the support, so that'll be a turnover. Winthrop basketball with 9:13 to play. DJ Burns will come in, and Claxton will get a breather on the bench.
And Cliff Thomas, Mike, if they don't put a body on him, he's just gone to the boards. I tell you what, he's hungry for that offensive boards, and that's Panthers need somebody like him.
6'8", 232. But Winthrop has the answer in 6'9", 260 DJ Burns. Ferguson the corner 3. Good for Ferg. He's in double figures with 12.
And Mike, we've got to mention that the Ferguson group is down there in the corner. He's got his mom here, he's got his aunt here, and he's got family members. There's 25 of them.
Hard to miss, too. They're all wearing 25 shirts.
Absolutely. Got the little Ferguson face shaking it down there, and he hits one right in front of the family.
Well, he's been a tremendous player on and off the court, good student.
Good representative.
Absolutely.
Of the Eagle community.
Good battle inside here, Thomas and Ferguson. And Hale on the help side steals the ball away.
Well, with some quick hands right there.
Tipped out to Ferguson. And the reverse layup, nice assist by Hunter Hale. Ferguson.
That's what they did, Mike, the other night up at USC Upstate, was they attacked the rim from that short corner, and it was Claxton, Zunic, and Hale and Ferguson that did the damage.
Ball tipped. And the official goes tumbling. That's Rusty Phillips.
He's got a blue ball on that one.
7:49 to play. Winthrop with a 12-point lead.
know, they don't have a lot of free time, and so it's total dedication. But the Eagles right now, Mike, you talk about the two seniors. You got Ferguson sitting on 14 points, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 2 for 2 from the charity stripe, 2 for 4 from three-point range, and 5 for 7 overall. Love seeing that, and we'll get to Hunter Hale here in a second.
What a great second half he's had. Izunabor working on Ferguson and Burns inside. Ball tipped around, and it's DJ Burns has it stripped away, still loose on the floor. Players diving on it. Jump ball. Got Zunic in there with Burns. Izunabor. DJ Burns doesn't want to give the ball up. Officials conferring. $7:29 to play. I think they were saying put 30 on the shot clock. Not a foul.
Well, that's why I kept looking up to see a foul, because he went 3-0.
Right.
And I thought, where was the foul?
Right.
Why are we getting the ball?
Right. Nope. It's just they were alerting the scoring table to put 30 on the shot clock.
Don't make you a point guard yet. Seeing the floor, Mr. Pacheco.
Head up, eyes up.
There you go.
DJ Burns working inside, had it blocked out of bounds. It'll stay Winthrop basketball. Thomas and Izunabor inside. Randleman goes out. Jamal Wright is back in, so you have John Michael Wright, Jamal Wright, Izunabor, Thomas, and Coleman for High Point. Winthrop has Zunic, Vadran, Falden, Ferguson, and DJ Burns. And we get a travel call against Winthrop. Was that Zunic?
Yes.
Shuffling his feet before the pass?
He got the happy feet right there, trying to get the ball to DJ.
12 turnovers now for Winthrop with a 12-point lead, approaching 7 minutes to play. A little token pressure on the inbound.
Well, Mike, points in the paint. Remember the Eagles at one point, they were down really just.
It was 16-8 with 7:47 to play in the first half. And then at halftime, it was 20-14 High Point.
And now it's 26-24, and so High Point's only scored 2 points inside the paint.
Izunabor with the elbow jumper. His first field goal of the game. And now High Point within 10. Ferguson, the corner 3 and a foul. Or is he out of bounds?
Stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds.
Like the Eagles, it's a 4-possession game right now. The Eagles got a 10-point lead.
Four-possession game, but still plenty of time. High Point's still in this with 10 minutes to go, especially with how well Jamal Wright and John Michael Wright have played. They've been really the two stalwarts. 39 points. Thomas is next with 7.
Yeah, Mike, it's a 2-man wrecking crew right there, and yet the post players kept them in the ball game early.
Here's a miss. Thomas goes up and gets the stick back. Nobody boxed him out, and he was able to get the stick back. Winthrop's lead now 8. Ferguson. Falden's had the hot hand, 9 points, 9 rebounds. He's had a good game for Winthrop. Zunic is going to be fouled in the paint. And that foul's going to be on John Michael Wright. Tubby Smith doesn't like that call. So that'll be 3 now on the freshman from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Eagles will inbound, 20 seconds put on the shot clock.
Well, the thing about the Eagles, Mike, is they don't want to stop playing, even though they have the lead.
Soft pass gets intercepted. And now John Michael Wright gets fouled. Doesn't get the shot to fall, but he'll be shooting 2. So Kyle Zunic will pick up his second foul.
He's got a different gear, Mike, that I haven't seen in a freshman for a long time. I don't know if he's up for maybe freshman of the year, but the end of the season, he is really playing well.
So Mike Anuma is going to come back, 5:46 to play, 2 fouls. Zunick and Falden are out. Claxton back in for Winthrop.
And Mike Anuma's got to be smart, Mike. He's got 4 fouls, and the Eagles need him on the floor the last 5 minutes of the game. And they've got it to a 2-possession game right now.
6-0 run over the last minute now for High Point. Eagles want to get points in this possession for sure. Is it going to come from Anumba? No. Thomas couldn't get the rebound, but it is saved by John Michael Wright. High Point hanging around. He's on a board. Good from the free throw line.
Nice little ball fake, get the defender up, gather himself, and knock down a little 15-footer.
2-possession game, timeout Winthrop, 5:09 to play. That's a good timeout for the Eagles. 8-0 run over the last minute, 23, and it's really been fueled by 3 turnovers, Bob. They need to stay in the lead first.
They've got to get to the rim, Mike. They've got to get some easy baskets. They're empty possessions right now, and you're making it easy on the Panthers.
How much has the 2-3 zone maybe disrupted the offense a little bit? Here's Hale for 3 in the corner. Well, it didn't disrupt that.
Not much, and I think Ferguson caught an elbow to the chin, and the official missed it.
Lead back to 7. It's been a wrecking crew of Jamal Wright and John Michael Wright. And Cliff Thomas has had a pretty good game too. And how about that, an up top 3 and just a big smile for Jamal Wright. He's earned it.
Well, that's the thing, Mike. You've got the confidence, and he just catches it. The defender's there, and he drains the 3, and that's what you don't want.
Hunter Hale strokes it right there. He's got 19.
Yeah, Hunter Hale said, you know what, it's senior night. Let me go ahead and finish this out the right way. 19
points for the grad transfer. Gets the crowd up on their feet. 7-point Winthrop lead. Approaching 4 minutes to go. But they got to get some stops defensively to keep High Point from thinking they can win this game. Right now they think they're in it. We're going to get a foul on the floor. That'll be the 6th team foul against Winthrop. And it'll be on Josh Ferguson. So the Winthrop senior picks up his 2nd foul. High Point Pat Kelsey with some instructions for the final 3:51 here. His team up by 7. Winthrop 22 assists, Bobby, on 29 made baskets.
They're sharing the ball.
On the other hand, High Point has 46 of 70 points from the combination of John Michael Wright and Jamal Wright. Those 2 players playing with a lot of heart, keeping High Point in this game.
And you got Jamal Wright, who is the senior, and you have John Michael Wright, who is just a freshman.
Now remember, Chandler Vaudrin has 14 assists. Rick Reese against Limestone on February 12, 1981 had 17. So the Winthrop single game assist record is 17. Chandler is 3 away from tying that.
Well, we will keep an eye on them. Right now, in the paint, the Eagles are stuck on 24, and the Panthers now are sitting on 30. And it has been a game.
Ball tipped, Wright gets it back. Eagles got the deflection they wanted, but Wright was in the right spot.
What a great defensive play by Vaudrin right there. And that's the nice thing, but he's a point guard guarding a post player.
And a foul for John Michael Wright cutting through the lane with the shot clock winding down. So that'll go against Hunter Hale. That'll be 2 on the grad transfer from Kalamazoo. And it'll put John Michael Wright back to the line. He's 7 of 9 in this game. 21 points. And Bobby, for High Point fans, and they know this, so maybe for Winthrop fans and the rest of the league watching, man, is he fun to watch.
He really is, Mike. He's a gifted athlete, and what amazes me is the composure in which he plays with as a freshman.
Zanabor gets the ball up ahead now. Jamal R.Wright. He's going to allow his teammates to kind of regroup.
Jamal R.Wright and John Michael Wright, Mike, they both have a different gear that they shift into.
See if Winthrop can recover from a turnover. Here's a miss. Falden can't get it. Coleman steps into it, no good. Here's Jamal R.Wright. No good, ball tipped around, and now Ferguson comes up with it for Winthrop. Mike Anumba trying to back off while still trying to defend, not picking up his 5th foul.
That was a huge rebound by Ferguson because the Panthers had their hands on that, and that very easy could have cut it to 5.
14 points for Josh Ferguson. 4 rebounds. Winthrop has won the glass, and they're winning the 3-point line with Hunter Hale now has 22 points. That's his 6th made 3-pointer. Winthrop has made 16 threes in this game, and High Point wants to use a timeout with 2:21 to play. Winthrop's last 9 points have come on Hunter Hale threes.
He is just stroking the ball right now, Mike. And I thought that Coach Kelsey was going to try to run a little bit of time off the clock, and Hale just kind of felt like, let's go ahead and increase this to a 10-point win right now, or margin. But it's got to come with the defense down here. There's a lot of energy on this Panther team for being as young.
Matt likes to say sometimes the game dictates what you do. In this game, it's dictated Winthrop be more of a 3-point shooting team, and they made their shots.
Well, with the 2-3 zone, that's really what it is, and they've got a nice blend of diving in the middle of the paint and getting some easy chip shots to collapse the defense.
Most threes in a game this year for Winthrop. Previous was 14 against Mid-Atlantic. Lead is 10 for Winthrop. High Point having a tough time getting a shot off. Now we're going to get a blocking foul on Hunter Hale with 2:05 to play, 9 seconds to go. So second time in as many possessions, High Point has had the benefit of a foul late in the shot clock.
That's Jamal Wright did a nice job. Hunter was coming out to contest, legs thinking drive, hands thinking shot. And he was thinking shot at the time, and Jamal just took off before Hunter could establish himself.
1 and 1 is good, so he earns a second.
And Jamal Wright is not a man that you want at the free throw line, Mike. He's shooting 80% from the charity stripe.
Winthrop had a 6-0 run. They're 3 of their last 3. 24 points for Jamal Wright, and will not get the second one. Chandler Vaudrin with a big rebound for Winthrop. That's his 7th board. He has 15 assists now, so he's 2 away from the record, or tying the record.
Well, the Eagles will just milk a little bit of clock, and either Ferguson or Hale will end up with a 3.
Inside Ferguson. And he travels, trying to break through a double team, so another turnover for Winthrop. That's their 16th turnover of the game. They had 5 in the first half. But they do control the battle of the boards, 38-29.
Well, we had talked about it, Mike, just lackadaisical.
Now we're going to get an offensive foul here against High Point. It's going to be on Coleman. So Eric Coleman Jr. will pick up his 4th foul, the minute 32 to play, 9-point game.
Well, the Panthers are going to pick up little full court, and with those 2 guards, they can put some pressure on you. And the question is do they start fouling now and put the Eagles on the free throw line, or just let the clock run down?
It's a 3-possession game. I think if the Eagles get a shot off, get the rebound, then you start thinking foul. 6 seconds left. Now Winthrop wants to use the timeout and discuss what they want to do strategically.
Well, you do. You want to talk about if you make both free throws, are we going to go soft? We're going to let them roll the ball up the half court, get a couple extra seconds. Are we going to defend the arc? Does Pat think about maybe going to a 2-3, throw them off guard, or just defend the arc? And the two Wright brothers right now, Mike, they're 6 for 12. They're shooting 50% from behind that arc. We know that they can just take off in a heartbeat. Tubby is probably talking about, if we can't get the steal, go ahead and foul. Let's make them earn it. On the free throw line, they're telling you basically who to foul. These timeouts, Mike, the coaches are talking about who's up, how much time is left, how many timeouts do we have, and talk about possession. What do we want to do if we make it? What do we want to do if we miss it down this end?
6 seconds on the shot clock, 1:07 on the game clock. It's a 3-possession game. Winthrop leading by 9. Each team has 1 timeout left. Winthrop has 8 fouls. High Point has 6. Here's Vaudrin, a little up and under move off the rim, and it goes in.
It creeped around that rim about 6-7 inches. Got a good look, decided to fall in.
Lead is 11, under a minute to play. Coleman off the glass, good. 45.4 seconds remaining. .8 on the clock. 9-point game. High Point is elected not to foul yet. So Winthrop burning a lot of clock here right now.
Panthers just going to switch on everything, Mike.
Now we get a foul against Winthrop on Mike Enumba. So it's an offensive foul. That's the last thing you want to see with 31.6 seconds to go and a 9-point lead. He is just fouled out. So Mike Enumba is just fouled out of the game. But the good news for Winthrop, though, that's only 31 seconds left when he was fouled. When he fouled. Coleman up top 3, no good. Vaudrin rebounds with 18 seconds to go. And it is a foul by High Point. And it could go on either one of the, it's going to go on John Michael Wright. Both of them were right in there, Jamal Wright and John Michael Wright. So that'll be 4 on John Michael Wright. 16.3 ticks remaining, 9-point game. Vaudrin, as we have discussed before, not the best free throw shooter. At 54%, and misses the front end of a 1-and-1. John Michael Wright for 3, and with 9.9 seconds to go, it's a 6-point game.
Well, you are never out of a ball game when you got John Michael Wright or Jamal Wright on the floor, because they can elevate quick.
Winthrop 4 of 7 at the line. High Point 14 of 21. And some of that disparity has to do with how the game has been played style-wise. Winthrop has attempted 41 threes out of 67 shots made.
They were shooting it up. There's no question about that.
Big free throw for Zunic.
Jamal Wright and John Michael Wright, Mike, they have 48 of the 76 points.
Randleman airballs it out of bounds with 2.6 seconds remaining. And academic now, Winthrop will pick up their 21st win of the year, and they'll get their 15th win of the season. They're guaranteed a second-place finish. The Radford loss means Winthrop will share the Big South Conference regular season title. An upstate win over Hampton would help secure the tournament here in Rock Hill. A lot of tie-breaking issues that will be worked out over the next couple of hours, but that's going to be with games played. And right now, Winthrop knows one thing. They've won on Senior Day, and it's a big one over the Panthers. 84-76 over a very talented High Point team.
I tell you what, they
with
are
injuries. I mean, they played